Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Danny's Dishes. Today we have beef stroganoff. So the joys of beef stroganoff, it's quick, it's easy, it's packed with flavour, and basically one pan, one pot, done and dusted. So the ingredients today is stewing beef, mushrooms, onions, tomato paste, coconut milk, salt, pepper, ginger, garlic, and quick and easy. So we won't want too much time with an intro, we'll just get into the cooking. So onto the cooking. Okay, so guys, the key to good stewing beef is basically getting them all about the same size and thickness. Now, if you can't get stewing beef from your butcher, buy a few steaks and I'll show you how to prep it. So, the idea is you want them roughly the same length. So, split line in half. Now you need a bit of fat, but it's not the biggest thing. Don't need a massive pieces of fat on it. So basically you're looking for kind of long, thin, but thick pieces. So they're kind of almost like julienne pieces of meat. They're going to go into the bowl and we're going to marinate them. But like I said, you can get decent stewing beef at your butcher's, but let's say you have 2 steaks inside in the fridge and let's say they're a bit fatty for cooking for steaks. Slice them up and use them for a bit of a stir fry. Stir fry or beef stroganoff or a beef stew or a beef casserole. So folks, with a quick cleaning of the hands, quick cleaning of the board and the knife, our beef is already there. So all we need to do now is for the marinade. So for the marinade, I'm going to go ahead and this with 4 cloves of garlic. Just burst them over their skins there. So their skins in, we're just going to cut them up nice and fine. And then add it to the meat. We add it to the meat because it'll just bring more flavour to the meat rather than just into the pan like we normally do. This is more about bringing flavour to the meat itself, because the meat's the first thing that's going to hit the pan. So when the meat is the first thing that's going to hit the pan, we'll season up the meat first. Garlic also acts as a kind of a softener for the meat, so it attacks the protein and softens up the meat, so it gives you a much tender piece of beef to be cooking with. Bring them all back in, knock them off the knife. Lovely smell off the garlic. There you go. Now, if you're not that much of a fan of garlic, you can put 2 cloves in. But if you love garlic, go 3 cloves. With the garlic, then we're going to dice up the red onion. Now, if you have a shallot, you can add that, or a white onion, you can add that. But we're going to use the white onions for the veg and the stroganoff. You get that onion as finely diced as you can. So you're going as close as you can. Take as much time as you need. There's no need to be rushing. This is your dinner. The smaller you dice it, the better for this. But if you can't get it too small, don't worry about it too much. After all, it'll be cooking with the beef, so. Once you get to the end piece, you just into 3 and stand as close as you can together. I'm just going to gather up that onion and add it to the beef. That's onion, garlic. Next up, give it a salt, small bit of paprika, black cracked pepper, and some tomato paste. And a little bit of olive oil. So we're going to put the olive oil into the meat and to the marinade to save us oiling the pan. So there's about 2 spoons of olive oil, and we're going to let this marinade for about 2 hours minimum. If you can do it the day before, better. But the longer you leave this marinating, the better. So a little bit of oil and we'll get our veg prep ready. So folks, that's your beef marinating. So all that's left now to do is slice up some onions, slice up some mushrooms. So now, like I said, the longer you leave that beef sucking in that flavour, the better and the more tender that beef is going to be. And the most important thing about cooking that beef is make sure to take it out of the fridge about a half an hour before you start cooking it, because beef always cooks better at room temperature than straight from the fridge. So that's kind of the 2 key details of the beef. So the longer you let that marinade soak in, the more tender your beef's going to be, and taking it out a half an hour before you actually start cooking it, just so to allow it to come to room temperature. You're going to thinly slice these onions, so keep these onions as thinly sliced as possible. That's just to really add bulk to the stew, and onions bring flavour. And because we have the garlic and the ginger added to the beef, we don't have to add it to the pan. So we're going to remove the stem for this. If you like the stem on, you can keep the stem on. You don't have to. Just going to remove the stem. For the mushrooms, keep them bulky as possible. So going over, going across, going straight down the middle, and going across. Them as bulky as you want. And last is the gherkins. The gherkins we're going to leave in a separate bowl, because we're not going to add the gherkins straight away at the stroganoff. We're going to add it at the end of the stroganoff. If you add your gherkins too early, your gherkins are going to sour your taste of your stroganoff. So we're going to go 5 reasonably sized gherkins, but if you're not a fan of gherkins, just go 3. Now you do want these gherkins to be pretty much seen, so you're not going to cut them up too finely. We don't want them so big that they're going to dominate the flavour. Gherkins are quite nice because there's a lovely little taste of them. but I understand why they're not everybody's cup of tea. After all, they're only pickled cucumbers really. But a nice gherkin can be very hard to beat. And that will be all the veg prep done. So you're getting nice little pieces, like so. And you'll be adding them in at the end of the stroganoff to kind of give it a lovely finishing flavour. Just as the stroganoff is the beef is kind of softening and whatnot, you'll be literally adding in the gherkins. So gherkins together, final few bits. That's it. That is it. So folks, veg prep done, over to the stove and let's get cooking. Okay, so folks, here we have our pot with our chicken stock cube and a bit of turmeric and a small bit of salt for the rice. And here we have the pan heating up nice and gently for our beef for the stroganoff. So as you can see, the beef for the stroganoff is taking on that lovely red flavour. It's got a bit softer. It's been taken out a half an hour now before we start cooking. Pan's getting nice and warm. And we'll go with the beef. My first step out everything in the bowl. And everything all over the pan. Trying to keep it as healthy as possible. So I'm not going to add any wine onto this. So it's basically, I want to get a good sear on the meat and get the meat cooking. So we're going to leave that cook away, and after about 20 minutes I'll show you the end result. So folks, a couple of minutes have gone by. Juices are gone from the pan, so you've got a dry heat back in the pan. Not all the juices are gone now, you don't want all the juices to go, so you just gently bring back into your veg. So onions and mushrooms are going in there now, and they can cook away. Now, the beauty about beef stroganoff is you can leave it for as long as you want and you can do it as quick as you want. So it all depends on how your time scale is doing. It's perfect for a weekend, or it's perfect for the middle of the day, or it's perfect for coming home from work. If you need it in a rush, it can be done in a rush, and if you want to do it on a Sunday with all the family, it can be taken its time, nice and slow. So basically, we're going to let the veg cook off here nice and slow. And once the veg is cooled off a bit, we're going to add in the stock cube, we're going to add in our chopped tomato, and we're going to add in our coconut milk. Now we have the question of when would you put in the wine. So the wine will go in now when the pan is dry and it's your veg and your meat in the pan. So a white wine or a red wine, perfectly fine for this. Whiskey, bourbon, plenty of alcohol go well with this. So if you have a whiskey, if you have a brandy, if you have a cognac, if you have red wine, white wine, they all go well with this. So if you're going to add your wine, you add it now when the pan has lifted its beef juices and the pan is dry and you only have your beef and your veg inside. Because after this you won't be able to burn off the alcohol, and the alcohol will make it slightly bitter. So what you're going to do is when your pan is dry, you add your wine, you let your wine reduce, and then you add in your chopped tomato, your coconut milk, and season. So this would be your opportunity time to add the wine before everything else. Otherwise you'll have a bitter taste. Okay folks, so veg has softened up a good bit there. So in we're going to go with a tin of chopped tomatoes. Tin of coconut milk, stock cube, some salt, some pepper, and we're just going to all fold that in now. And when you add chopped tomatoes, a good idea to add is a small spoon of sugar. So if you're using chopped tomatoes in pretty much anything, okay, if you want to just bring out a little bit more flavor in it, a little spoon of sugar helps. But we're not going to add the sugar just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to wait till the end and see does it need it. So we're just going to fold that and bring that all together. So the stock cube, salt, pepper, chopped tomatoes and coconut milk all added in there. Bring it down to heat, bring it to a simmer and boil. And like I said, if you're getting that kind of rough aftertaste or kind of bitter aftertaste, because you're using chopped tomatoes, a little spoon of sugar will help straighten that up. But we're going to see how this is at the end. So folks, it's been boiling away now for a few minutes. So the most important part now is the actual taste test. You take out your spoon, add in your gherkins, so we need a bit more salt. Now guys, everything's cooked, everything's ready. All you need is a bowl, get your rice, lovely spoon, out onto the bowl. Get your stroganoff one side. And that's it. And the most important part is the taste test. So you get your bit of beef. Nice, quick, easy, just what life needs. So if you like what you see, please feel free to comment what you think of the video, like or subscribe. Subscribe button is there in the bottom corner. Hope you enjoyed the video. Another easy recipe, easy life. Bon appetit guys, and let me know what you think.